Hey guys.
13.5 minutes ago, because that would only be 7.5 minutes ago.
Hey guys. Welcome to another session of our Erilea campaign. This homebrew mess that has been brought to you by Benpai for the better part of 3 months now, I think. Almost 4 months.
Wow.
No, 3 months. An amount of time that is currently uncertain. Last we left off. Also, actually, real quick, I better mention this too. We are joined again this week by Cody from Random Encounter. This time we're on Twitch, so you can talk all about the Twitch channel all you want.
Oh, yay. Hello. Welcome. Yes, I'm from Random Encounter Productions, twitch.tv/Random Encounter Proc. We do D&D live plays. Man, at this point, we're doing them like 6 nights a week most weeks. Except for the days where I get tired, and then I'm like, no, we're going to watch Avatar. That happens sometimes. So, yeah.
Last Airbender or, Blue Navi kind?
Oh, Airbender.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just
Airbender.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Just
You
random
mean
nights
the
a
animated
week.
TV show, not the other thing that doesn't exist.
Right.
I don't even know what you're talking
really
about.
A wrong answer to that either. Both are good.
Both are
I
good.
don't know.
It's
Fern
just
Gully was fine.
Yep. Live action Fern Gully cross Pocahontas.
Was it live action? Was it? It was a live action the way, Lion King was live action.
Fair enough.
Which is delightful, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that they made a lot of money and those actors got paid. Good for them.
Yeah.
But,
Getting paid is nice.
it is nice. Anyway, I kid. I
Absolutely.
enjoyed all of them.
And then we're obviously joined back by the rest of the regular crew. Thanks for the gifted sub, Shakes Spears, to Random Encounter Prod.
Yay.
So last we left off, guys, you had just left Morath under the guidance of Unvera, Krakus's former fling? Question mark?
Boo thing.
Who led you guys down a shorter path to get back to Paranth through the Oakwald Forest itself, avoiding the main roads and kind of continuing on through there. You guys also met in Morath Tristan Belceron, essentially an assistant to Lord Locken of Paranth, with a message that requested that you all return to Paranth as quickly as possible, as there are the concerns that they are about to be attacked and the fact that magic has disappeared from the city of Paranth itself. Upon getting this information, Avier tried out a cantrip to make sure that she could still cast magic there in Morath, and was happy to find that her arcane abilities were still with her. Going through the Oakwald Forest, Tristan decided to play some pranks on one swing while riding through. Eventually, you all had to abandon your horses and wagon as you crossed the narrow part of the Avery River. You guys entered a very foggy portion of the Oakwald Forest. Upon traveling even more, the fog continued to thicken until you eventually found a stone hut in the middle of the woods. Further investigation kind of led you believe that it was created by Yellowlegs witches, one of the clans of Iron Teeth witches, and further investigation, you guys found a basement laboratory that opened up into a cave full of the wordstone that you guys have been encountering throughout your adventures in Erilea. You also discovered some pretty gnarly experiments of furbolgs being dissected, sliced open, having wordstone kind of shoved into these open slices, and in the caves with the wordstone found some of the abominations that had been created because of this. It was a pretty intense battle. Tristan Heder almost fell completely in the battle, but was thankfully brought up by his friends around him. You guys then continued to make short work of the remaining abominations, took the bodies of the abominations and the dissected furbolgs and threw them into the furnace, essentially making sure that there was nothing to come back and fight them. You guys then quickly left the hut, made your way into the forest, led by Tristan Balsaran to find a safe camp. Tristan, using his survival skills, having used the Oakwald Forest a lot to travel for Lord Locken, enlisted the help of the small fae folk that live in the forest and found a nice secluded area to make camp. And as you guys were getting ready to getting ready to bed down, what would you guys like to do?
I would like to go over to Leaf and just sit down next to him.
Okay.
Hey Leaf.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you mind if I take your watch with you?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to get some writing done.
So I guess we're gonna start with our watches for the evening. If anyone wants to do anything before bedding down for the evening, now is the time to speak.
I don't hear monkey.
Yeah, I don't either.
Monkey's a little quiet, but I heard him.
I heard him too.
I didn't hear anything.
Nope.
I did not.
Okay. Let's boost him up a little bit on my end. He was quiet, so potentially bumping up the volume.
Didn't even see the green recognition around his name.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
That's weird.
I legitimately heard him speak.
Same.
I was like, are we just going to keep going and pretend that he's talking, or am I missing something? I was very confused.
Monkey, are you there?
Internet crashed. Sorry.
Come on, he wasn't there. You guys are the crazy.
Oh man.
No, his
You guys-
voice was
I'm not
there.
crazy, you are.
Heard something? Mm-hmm. Sure.
I hate you.
I mean, sounds like you gotta work out some things inside first.
Before you
Check
guys
that out.
start bedding down for the evening, is there anything you guys would like to do?
Nothing specific, but Tristan Belseron is going to volunteer to take a watch, and since I have trance, I can technically, I'm perceptive even while I'm resting for the 4 hours.
Okay.
So I'll just zone out a little bit. I'll take any watch you guys want, and just gonna methodically sharpen his two short swords.
I will also take a watch.
Okay.
Once Wing's exhausted, he would like to sleep for the evening.
Before everybody goes to sleep, Tristan's just gonna say, "Hey, so I know did any of you take any of the that word stone out of the cave?"
I collected some for the kingdom.
Same.
Yeah, I know you did, and you didn't listen to me the first time. But for anybody else that did take it, I just want to let you know when I was in the cave and I got close to it, I heard a voice that said, "Don't," when I was reaching out to touch it. I don't think it's safe, and I think we should get rid of it.
So what would you have us do with it now? Bury it here, or leave it
Yes,
to be found by something else?
preferably just bury it.
Add it to my bag where we already have some wordstone.
But that's
I don't know if that's better. I don't know.
I think we should just get rid of it.
Oh, I'm gonna side with you then. Everybody trash it.
Am I still cursed, Benpai?
Yeah. You mean the corruption?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'll just have like my however many shards I have.
I'll take all of it.
But you
and
said
I'll go
you said
and-
you didn't
and bury
want to.
it.
You said you didn't want to touch it. I mean, clearly I have no issue with this
Well,
stuff.
I'm not
I
gonna.
can carry
I'm
it
gonna
for
wrap
you.
it. Okay, if you want
I
to
can
carry it, that's
carry it
fine.
for
But
you.
we can collect all the wordstone that everybody has, and just go bury it.
Okay.
Yeah, Tristan will hand his over to whoever's collecting it. Sorry, I'm still learning people's names.
One swing.
One swing.
Tristan.
Okay, thanks. All right,
Yes.
Tristan, take me wherever you want to bury it.
Did anybody else take any?
Krakus will take some out of his hand and hand it over to you.
Tristan, you notice as Krakus hands it over to you that one shard of the wordstone seems to have a little bit of blood on it.
Did you scratch yourself with this? Pointing out the blood to Krakus.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good, but okay. Would I know? Like,
It's fine. Nothing happened.
Insight check.
yeah, like
Go
I
ahead.
don't trust this.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and roll an insight check.
Oh, that's not good.
that's not either.
7.
4.
7-4. Okay. Krakus, I told you to roll your
7.
7.
Oh my god.
All right. As far as you can tell, looking at Krakus, he is being truthful, if not maybe a little disappointed. And I would say the one who can catch the disappointment would be Tristan.
What would I know what the disappointment was toward?
No, you can just sense that there's disappointment in the fact that nothing happened.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So is this all the wordstone that we took?
Well, I didn't take any. I was with you the whole time.
Do you want to bury the broken ones that I've had for a while
I
now?
think the ones that we broke are fine. I think we just need to get rid of this stuff. We shouldn't have taken it. And then I grab one swing and we to start walking.
Okay. Are you guys heading out of the camp?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like 50 feet.
50 feet away from the camp, easy enough. Go ahead and roll an investigation check just to try to find a good place to bury it.
11.
An 11? Okay. You guys make your way through the woods, kind of looking for a spot to bury it, and see an area at the base of a tree. Avir.
Oh God.
At the camp, while Tristan and One Swing are out burying this, you notice two streaks go across the sky in the general direction of where One Swing and Tristan went.
I
And
would start running.
And on a natural 1 for stealth, One Swing and Tristan, you notice stepping from behind the tree that you are planting or burying this word stone in, a beautiful blonde, almost lethal looking woman steps from behind the trees, about 5.5 feet tall. You look at her and you see long iron nails coming from her hand and a row of jagged, sharp iron teeth. And she looks you in the eye and says, "Well, well, well. So you have been in our home." Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh boy.
I'm going to have everyone go ahead
20.
and roll initiative right now, just so we can kind of keep everything in the initiative order. Wow.
I finally rolled the high initiative.
Same. DM, have we taken a short rest at all since of our last
No,
action
you
of
have
combat?
not.
Oh.
One Swing,
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. What's your dexterity?
+1.
+1? Okay, good to know. Krakus?
19. I put it in the roll 20 for you.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, you could just type
Yeah,
it
you
there.
can roll, and you can also roll on roll 20. There's a rolling feature.
Yeah, but then I have to go back and forth between these pages.
That's true.
So give me a second.
Also, roll 20 hates me.
Okay. Okay. So you're 20, 18 for Tristan B.
Yep.
Wow, some good freaking initiative rolls, guys.
And then
Oh,
23.
except Leaf. You said 23, Tristan?
Yep.
And Avir?
20.
And what is what is your dex?
My dex is +3.
Your dex is +3. Okay. So, top of the initiative, Tristan, you see this woman come out from behind the tree, and looking pretty deadly. What would you like to do?
She's looking pretty deadly.
Yep.
Like she's hot, or like
I
she's
mean,
gonna kill me.
She, a little bit of both. You imagine that one of the Iron Teeth Witch's many weapons is their beauty, like some predators are.
Do we have a map?
Okey-dokey.
Do we have a map for this?
Well, we would if you guys didn't go 50 feet out into the fucking woods.
50 feet isn't far.
Yeah, I can see the 120.
Gotcha.
That's like a 10-second walk.
So here we go. Whoops. We're gonna do this. Tristan and
Without-
One Swing would be
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Eve,
Oh,
Krakus,
next to me.
Tristan, and Avir started running into the woods.
Nope.
And guess
And
I'm
she
minus-
said that She said that.
Here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna say, "What do you want?" And I'm gonna hold my action of an Eldritch Blast, and I'm gonna move back. How close is she?
She is right in front of you, like
Okay.
about 5, maybe 10
Oh.
feet away.
Never mind. So she's within melee.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then I'm not gonna hold Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull my rapier and hold a booming blade.
Okie doke.
After saying, "What do you want?"
Okay. So Tristan pulls out his blade. Go ahead.
And I'm holding it until she either she tries to attack or
Okay. Easy enough. So Tristan pulls out his. It's a rapier, right?
Yep.
Pulls out his rapier, and a sparkling crackle of pink lightning starts forming around it as he inquires as to why the witch is here. Which brings us to Avir's turn.
This like accurate as far as distance goes.
Fairly accurate, yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nifty. Oh, God.
However,
Sorry, my setup is so weird. What?
I would say there are a lot of trees and woods in the way. It would be difficult for you to actually see. You could roll roll a perception check.
It's a 16.
16? Yeah, okay. So if moving in a little bit, you can kind of see the that there is a third figure speaking with Tristan in one swing right now, and you can see Tristan's rapier out.
Cool. I'm definitely gonna move closer. Like I would say, probably I'll move 20 feet. I'm not gonna like run right in there, but
You should be able to move Avir yourself.
I forgot we're using Roll20 now. No, I want you
You
to move.
literally just used it.
No, listen, get out of my face. Okay, that was about 20 feet, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
DM, I do not have control of one swing, but that's because I just joined the campaign.
Oh.
Whenever you get a chance.
Yeah, I can do that.
Same.
Keith G.
There we go. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, there you go. All right. So you get I would say that close you can definitely get an angle at where that witch behind the tree is standing.
Line of sight to her. Could I like cast on her?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness on her.
Okie doke, and that's a saving throw, right?
bit.
All right. What? You know what? Let me move this onto my other monitor. Oh my goodness! It's like I have 2 monitors or something. Makes all of this so much easier to see. Okay. It's a DC. What kind of save am I making here?
No, it's a hit. So it's like a ranged attack. So it's a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Dirty 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 13 poison damage.
Okay.
And I need her to make a con save.
That would be a 15.
I believe that passes, but I can't fucking tell. I'm using D&D Beyond on my iPad, and it doesn't look the same as on a computer, and I'm very confused.
If you go to your spells page,
Yeah.
your DC should be at the top of it on mobile.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I just found it. Yeah, she passed. So that's
Alright.
it. Just 13 poison.
Okie doke. Alrighty. After Avir runs in and launches a ray of sickness, that's what you said.
Yeah, wait a second.
You kind of start to see the witch blanch a little bit, but shake her head and kind of reinvigorate her resolve as from above you.
Oh fuck.
Wait a second. Excuse me. You guys notice two more witches on brooms about 20 feet above you with bows that are going to, seeing that a spellcaster came in and started attacking, they are going to use both of their bow attacks on Avir. The first one is a natural 19, and the second one is a 10 plus 4, 14.
That also hits.
Okay. From the first one, you suffer minimum damage, 3 points of piercing damage. And from the second one, 6 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
And then from the woods behind you, Tristan.
Oh fucking.
Oh my gosh.
These three rolled a 20, an 18, and a 17 on their stealth. So, one of the witches drops from a tree behind you, Tristan, and starts lashing out with her iron claws. And that is going to be a 10 plus 7, 17 to hit. And a natural 1. Misses? All right. Two attacks with the claws from behind you, and then a bite as well. That's a freaking 11. Cool. So
do I get my attack then?
You will in just a moment. So the witch drops down, lashes forward with her iron claws, and tries to reach forward and then bite with her iron teeth, just finding the metal of your armor, being very frustrated. And the witch in front of you starts chuckling. You can go ahead and take your attack.
That will be a 14 to hit.
14 just misses. You swing your blade, and the magical energy starts to rush forward, but it gets stuck in the tree as you are surprised by the Iron Teeth Witch dropping in from behind you. Okay. And then this one takes her turn and is going to lash out at one swing with her 2 claws and 1 bite. Claw number 1 is going to be a dirty 20. Claw number 2 is a 15 to hit.
Miss.
And bite is an 11. Cool. Okay. So she slashes forward, embedding her iron nails into your arm. For the first attack, you suffer. Oh, I was supposed to roll 2 of those for Avir. Oh well. 11 points of slashing damage. Oh no, that was the bow. Just kidding. I didn't mess that up. And she kind of finds that purchase, and you start kind of swinging away as her iron nails dig into your arm, dodging away when she lunges forward to bite at you. That ends their turn.
Sentinel?
You use your reaction to use your held attack.
Oh, does that use a reaction?
Yes. And that brings us to One Swing's turn.
I'm going to...
Krakus, you're on deck.
10, 15. Walk around this one to flank.
Okay, the other one gets an attack of opportunity on you as you go away.
Okay.
God damn it. 16?
Miss.
Okay. She lunges forward to try to attack you and is getting really frustrated that she cannot hit anything that she attacks.
And I'll pull out my sword and attack this one.
Go for it.
18 plus 7.
That definitely hits.
Eight. 13 damage.
13 damage. Nice. You swing with your sword, and as you swing up, you notice that kind of similar black blood that you see from the Volg-infested humans that you fought, but are not really surprised by that with them being witches.
Yeah. Ends my turn.
Alrighty, that ends your turn. Krakus, you are up. Tristan Balsaron, you are on deck.
All right. I would like to wild shape into a dire.
Oh, real quick. All you guys see is you kind of hear maybe some cackling in the woods, and Avier just dart away without making a sound. You want to go ahead and wild shape into a dire wolf, you said?
Yeah, if Avier's running, I'm assuming it's for a reason.
Alrighty.
Do you want me to roll some sort of a check to...
No. I'm just...
Cool.
Just
making sure.
Gotta add that story flair, man.
I don't know what you're talking
Right.
about. Avier's a natural runner. He's a natural.
Yeah.
A nightly
As,
jog.
as a wizard, I'm sure. Yeah.
As an old ass wizard.
Yep. She likes to go for
Yes.
her nighttime woodland runs.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she stays so youthful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd like to follow with my speed of 50, so getting as close as I possibly can.
Okay.
How close can I be? I'm not on roll 20. Everything's restarting, so
Okay.
sorry.
You can get right below the two that are flying, but you're not able to get into melee range with anything.
That's fine.
All right.
I'll stay there.
Alrighty. I'll move you over there. Okie doke. Are you wanting to hold your action for anything, or...
I'll hold my action until any enemy is within melee range of Krakus.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan. Which brings us to Tristan. You see the older elven wizard just dart into the forest, and as that happens, the furbolg sitting next to you just morphs into a massive wolf and darts into the woods behind her. What would you like to do?
So, as everyone is leaping up, I'm going to sort of give it a second to be like, oh, I guess I'm sort of, let's see what the hell's happening now. I cannot control my token.
That's
but
good.
I would have a speed of 35 feet. 35, 10.
Here you go. You should be able to control it now.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. That's where I last saw people sort of disappear.
Yep.
Can I see, what can I see from this vantage, or do I need to get closer?
From this vantage, you see two arrows sticking out of the elf,
Okay.
and I would say you can kind of gleam that there's the two witches kind of on their brooms above where the wolf is.
Well, seeing the arrows, I will draw my longbow and knock an arrow
All
as I
right.
move 10 more feet forward.
Okay.
Can I see the witches at this point?
Absolutely. You can definitely get a good line of sight on them.
Absolutely. Then I would like to take a shot at the witch. This one up here, the one further north.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay. 20. That is 13 plus 6 for a
19.
19.
19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
4 plus 4 for 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Nice. Nicely done. Avier, as you take your arrows to the shoulders, you see your new companion kind of run into the woods a little bit behind you. Bow pulled, arrow drawn, launch it at one of the flying witches, and it seems to soar through the air and just nail her right in the hip, causing more of that black blood to drip as she lets out a shriek of pain. Does that end your turn, Tristan?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Alrighty. Which brings us to Eve.
So I'm gonna chase after him because, you know,
Everyone's
sneaky
running
weird.
away from you.
And totally not using him as a human shield or an elf shield at this point. Do I see the enemy witches?
You definitely, as you run up, you see Tristan still kind of aiming up towards the witches on their brooms, and you definitely knowing that they usually travel in groups. You see the two and probably believe there's more.
Good. Okay. I am going to use my Eldritch Blast at the one that he's aiming at.
Okie doke. Go ahead and roll an attack.
That is 16 plus 7 for 23.
Okay.
And then
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
What die I use? So that's 7 points of damage.
Nice, guys. As she takes the arrow to the hip, a blast of pinkish purplish eldritch energy flies forth from right behind you, Tristan, following the arrow. And as the arrow embeds into the hip, the eldritch energy comes in behind it and just shoves it even further in and up deeper into the flesh as she lets out an even harsher scream. Does that end your turn?
I'll
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna look at my little buddy and because she followed me last time. Like, yes, good job. Give her kind of a
Thank you.
At a.
And then I just hide directly behind him from the direction of the wind.
Tristan's all about it.
Yeah.
Go in front.
That brings us to Leaf, now sitting in front of the fire, having watched all of his companions bolt into the woods, kind of still warming his hands a little bit on the flames and looking around. What would you like to do, Leaf?
Why can't we just make camp just for once and, like, not go bolting off into the forest as I get up and I sprint off into the darkness? 30, and that's as far as I can go. Cool.
Alrighty.
You can.
You can
No.
bonus action dash.
You
No, it's
can.
okay.
Yeah.
I would say you can use your action to move further too, if you wanted.
Well, he's a rogue. He can bonus action move farther.
Yeah.
Leaf is good.
All these witches are gonna kill us, and it's gonna be your fault because you didn't take an action round 1.
That brings us
Called out.
back to the top of initiative. Tristan.
Do I see the one witch in the air getting pelted?
Yeah, you definitely hear all of the commotion behind you as Avier runs in, and the witches on their broomsticks
Okay.
high above.
Then I'm gonna ignore the one in front of me
Okay.
and Eldritch Blast the one that everyone else has been hitting.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
That is a 23. Yeah.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 4 damage.
4 damage. Alrighty. Followed up by the purplish pinkish blast of eldritch energy. Another purple blast comes from the other side and wails on her, pushing her a little bit with her broom to the side. Does that end your turn, Tristan?
Yep.
Alrighty. That brings us to Avier.
How high up in the air are the two on brooms?
About 20 feet.
Perfect. I am going to cast Shatter on the two of them, so I need them to make con saves.
Con
I have a strong
saves.
no pass, but I might as well try.
And it hits both of them. Both of them making
Yes,
the
it's
con
out of a
saves.
10-foot radius.
Okay. Alrighty. Wow, I rolled 11 on both of them plus I already forgot their con 14.
Oh, fuck. It
They
is
take-
a save of 14.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They take half though, don't they, for Shatter?
I imagine they
Yeah, they do still take half.
okay. Go ahead and roll that shatter damage. Looks like 3d8. You guys watch after taking the 2 arrows. Avier is pissed and launches both of her hands forward and kind of claps. And as she does, a shockwave of energy flies up towards the 2 witches in the air. And as it gets right into the center of them, gets smaller and then blasts all around them.
7 thunder damage.
7 thunder damage. Was that already halved, or am I having 7?
No, that's halved. I rolled a 14.
Okay, perfect. 7 thunder damage.
Thunder damage to each of them, but whatever.
Sorry. All right. Does that end your turn? You still have your movement.
Yeah, I'm gonna move.
Okay.
Once again, I forgot that I could move myself and was gonna wait. I'm gonna just like come over here in the little elf pack over here. I'll hang out.
All right.
Human.
Over there too.
Alrighty. That brings us to their turn. The one taking a bunch of damage from over here is going to go ahead and use some of her flight speed to come here, drop down right in front of Leaf.
Charmin.
Look.
Multiply?
Oh my God, she did! What the hell happened?
I was gonna say, when you drag the 2 in, you dragged them on top of each other, so there's just two
Oh, okay.
Funniest thing.
Use duplicity.
She invoked duplicity.
My bad. Drops down. Leaf in front of you. You see this beautiful woman with iron teeth and iron nails drop in front of you. Long blonde hair and black eyes with a little bit of gold flecked into it a bit. Drop right in front of you and just say, "Well, hello there, gorgeous." And she is going to do her 2 slashing attacks. Did I find... Okay, so a 14, a 19 on those slash attacks.
Yes.
Okay. And those slashes are 2, 7, 9 points of slashing damage and 6 points of slashing damage. She just goes whoosh, whoosh, kind of right across your face and going for the neck.
Not the goods.
And then she's going to kind of lift up one of her hands and lick one of the iron nails and then lunge forward and bite at your shoulder. Okay, well, that went on the ground. Natural 20.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Kill me.
Sorry. Oh.
The other one did. All the pretty ladies try to kill me or rob me.
Oh gosh. So that is 11 times 2, 22
Yeah, I'm done.
plus
God.
2 plus 4. 26 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, I had 12 health.
Oh, I am sorry. So she lashes forward and then kind of sees that you're already bleeding a little bit, grabs you forward and just bites into the center of your neck as the blood just pours out and you fall unconscious. The other one is going to fly over here. No, she's not. She is going to see the wolf below her. Is going to drop down and get ready to attack at the wolf.
Wolf gets an attack.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your attack. Ugh, really?
And there's nobody around me anymore because Xavier left.
She wasn't really that close to you to give you pack tactics.
I know, it was just guilting Xavier.
Oh, okay.
Would have tried to kill me if I stayed.
All right.
Instead, it killed Leaf.
It's true. It did.
Well,
Um,
I'd say better
19
than
hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's actually a 24, just so we're clear.
Well, okay. It still hits. Whoop. That's going to be
Plus 3.
11 points of... I assume this is a bite?
Yes.
Okay. She drops down
Saving
and...
throw.
What's that? Oh, that's right. Saving throw. Roll one of these other ones so I don't forget these rolls. Here we go. Natural 3? What's the saving throw?
13 plus strength.
Strength. So yeah, that is a 7.
Roan.
She drops down onto the ground, and as she's coming down, Krakus, you lunge forward and grab her by the ankle, and she falls over on the ground as she lets out a little bit of a yelp, and she will then get up, and her attacks on you, as she just landed right in front of you, are going to be a... Okay, they're all plus 7. Okay, so a 13, a 13, and a 14.
None of them hit.
She lashes forward, and as she gets up, tries to leap forward and bite onto the dire wolf, missing. You're just dodging, kind of bouncing away. You know, like a dog playing with a dead animal. And I almost forgot about the 2 next to one swing and Tristan. All right. The one behind Tristan is going to take. Just going to. The one behind Tristan is going to attempt to jump on her broom and fly over to the one back by the camp. Tristan, you get an attack of opportunity if you'd like to take it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
That's going to be a 17 to hit.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 6 damage.
6 damage? Okay. That is... as she pulls out her broom, Tristan, you hear that she's attempting to move and lash behind you with your rapier, jamming it across her wrist and making her drop her broom right there, unable to fly away like she had originally anticipated. And she is, in her rage, going to take out her 2 claws against you. A 15, a 19.
Miss. 19 hits.
Okay, 19 hits. That's going to be 9 points of slashing damage, and then she's going to lunge forward with her bite, which is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
And that's going to be 13 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
And then the other witch, by one swing, is going to attempt to fly away to help the witch by camp as well. One swing, you get an attack of opportunity.
18 to hit.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
10.
10 damage. As she jumps on her broom, you bring down your massive greatsword across her back as she's flying away, and she lets out a screech. She's looking really rough as she flies away. And above Tristan, Eve, and Avier, she's going to pull out her short bow and attack at... let's see. Who does she attack? We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to attack Eve.
Exciting.
That is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay. You take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And she had to duck down below some trees to get there, so she's only about 10 feet above you guys. And that ends their turn and brings us to one swing.
Wait, how did that one move? Didn't I stop her from moving? Oh no, not
You don't have Sentinel.
Okay.
You can come join me. Please.
She just walked away from me.
She jumped on her broom and flew away.
Oh, she's still in the air?
Yeah. And you, looking next to you, you do see Tristan looking pretty bloodied, being attacked by the witch behind him.
I'll swing.
All right, so you move behind her and start swinging. Alrighty, go ahead and make your attack.
It's a natural 20.
All right, go ahead and roll that damage.
You want double dice or roll once, take double?
Roll once, take double.
8, 16. 21 damage.
21 damage. Oh, this is the second one. You seeing Tristan kind of panting pretty heavily, run up to the witch right after slashing at the one that flew away from you, swing your sword at her side, causing a deep cut to go up and around her back and onto her shoulder. She lets out that loud screech as that black blood kind of sprays onto your body itself, and now she is also looking really rough. Does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Cool. All right, and that brings us to Krakus.
I just am looking at the map now that it's my turn. Who moved away from me, and why didn't I get an attack of opportunity?
They were above you 20 feet?
But I knocked her prone.
No,
one.
that was a different one. She moved away from you before this one had dropped down. That's the one that just killed Leaf.
Wow.
The one that I knocked prone is the one that killed
No,
Leaf?
the one that flew away is the one that killed Leaf. This is
That I knocked prone.
this is
Right
the
next
one
to
that
you.
you knocked prone.
There's not anything next to me on Roll20.
Oh, that's weird.
Refresh it. Sometimes it
All right.
bugs out.
I was like There's nothing. Next
There is
to
still
You killed
a
it!
witch.
Yay! There's only 3 now.
There is a witch right next to you.
it. Then I will bite the shit out of that witch.
You bite the shit out of that witch.
I will attempt to.
Whoop.
But I think I'm pretty successful.
I think so too. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Roll your save too, Benpai.
Yep, just rolled it.
That is 8.
8 points of damage. Nice. And I rolled a 13.
That meets it. Therefore, it beats it.
Alrighty. So you attempt to do the same thing, lunge at one of her ankles and rip forward. But as she does, as you do, she is able to kind of kick your face away a little bit, wrenching herself free, but leaving a lot of that black blood pouring from her ankle. Alrighty. And does that end your turn?
I suppose it does.
Okay. And that brings us to Tristan B. Eve, you're on deck.
So the witch that is nearest me is 10 feet in the air.
Correct.
With my short swords, do I think I could reach her?
I would say you could attempt to jump up and attack with a acrobatics check.
Okay. And the hag, the witch that had dropped Leaf behind me.
Uh-huh.
How high off the ground is she?
She is on the ground.
She is on the ground.
Correct.
Okay. Bloody hell. Okay. Those. I know that the 2 mages near me are probably going to attack at range, so knocking her prone is not going to help anybody in that instance. So I will make the acrobatics check as I toss my longbow on the floor and draw the 2 short swords off my back, trying to double slash it up.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll your acrobatics check first.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. I would say with no issue, you between 2 trees kind of run, kick off of one into another and kick off the other, and then pull your short swords out and go ahead and roll your attacks.
With the natural 20, could I land on the broom with her?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Thank
spicy.
you. Yes. Okay. Now
And
attacks.
we're just gonna do. Oh my god. Okay.
I can show you the world.
Ah, the duality of man. The first one fails terribly, but the second one with a 16 might hit.
16 does hit. So as you jump from tree to tree and land on the broom, you reach out with one of the swords, and as you land on the broom, the additional weight kind of shifts and moves the broom downwards as it falls to the ground, bringing the witch with her. She is able to land on her feet, but not before you bring out your other short sword and slash it across her, essentially across her face. And go ahead and roll damage.
That is a total of 8 points of slashing damage.
8 points of slashing damage. Nice. She, as you do so, you open a huge part of her face, and she looks at you and snarls, but you can tell that she's kind of going, she's looking around her back and forth in a panic, looking to see what's around her. She's looking really rough.
With the blade in between us, dripping with her blood, I'll just wink at her. And,
All right.
yeah, that's it. That's the end of my turn.
Okie doke. That brings us to Eve. You see
Wait, hold
Tristan. Oh, go ahead.
I apologize. I just remembered I could do this. Do I think if I hit her one more time, she would drop?
It is incredibly likely, looking at how many deep cuts and slices across her.
And
that
I would
you-
like to action surge.
All right, go ahead and do your action surginess.
I apologize. One more cut.
It's like the vinyl. It's a deep cut.
17 to hit,
17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
and just to make sure that she drops, because we have too many witches, I need to get these motherfucking witches out of this motherfucking camp. I would like to perform a trip attack. So I need her to make a strength saving throw.
Okey-doke. I can't roll above 10 tonight, guys. That is a
Yay.
12.
Hey, that's fine, Ben. Don't worry about it.
Fails. So she is.
This is the witch right in front of you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And does she take damage as well? Yes.
She takes a total of 12 points of damage.
You bring you after you wink at her, she kind of snarls back at you, and unexpectedly you pull your short sword backhanded right across her neck as you kind of punch her in the gut onto the ground, and as you do so, the additional force just cuts deep into the throat as the rest of her, she chokes on the rest of her blood going down, and she is, where is my mouse? She is gone. She is gone to this
Yay.
world.
Nice. I'll pop up and turn and look at the one that's over Leaf. Go next.
You do like the eye to eye thing, right?
Oh
at
yeah.
her?
Yeah. We're gonna Robert De Niro it.
All right.
Witch.
And does that end your turn?
It does, because I have nothing cool I can do at all.
All
I'll take
right.
short rest. I can second win, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, just do normal attacks from here on out.
Alrighty. Eve, you're up.
How is the one over Leaf looking?
The one over Leaf is fairly bloodied. She's hurting, but she probably of the remainder looks to be the one that has taken the least amount of damage.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna try this. I don't think it will work, but I'm going to try and cast Hold Person on her.
Okay, and that's a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
10.
I have a 15 save.
Yep. I'm sure you do. So as you see the witch in front of Leaf, looking like she's about to bend down to take another bite, all of a sudden she kind of lurches forward, and you can see all of her muscles tense as her eyes just kind of dart back and forth, and she cannot move.
No, you do not hurt my friend anymore. And then I use my 30 movement to get 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll go through.
Just
I don't want to deal with her.
as far away as you possibly can. Mhm.
Yes. Because she might now follow me too, if she gets out of it.
And does that end your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Leaf, I need you to make your first death saving throw. Whew. You succeed. Well done. Bringing us back to the top of initiative, Tristan.
So
Aver, you're on deck.
taking a
DM?
potion, is that an action or bonus action?
Drinking. If you yourself are drinking a potion, it's a bonus action.
Okay.
Yes, I'll let you take your additional attack on your turn. One swing.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm going to.
Is that what you were going to ask? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, should I do if he's gonna heal? Then never mind. I didn't want him to roll to attack if she would be dead.
Yeah.
That's all.
Absolutely.
on my action. I'm gonna attack her.
Okay, so I'll let you take your additional attack one swing, and then I'll go ahead and roll your healing potion, Tristan, while he's doing that.
It's a natural 20 again.
Okay.
It doesn't proc twice, so I'm not going to
No,
move.
no, I understand.
5,
11.
6, 12, 17 damage on that one.
17 damage. Nice. Ooh. Okay. You after just the joy of how deep you were able to cut with your first attack on her, continue swinging forth and do another cut against the small of her back. Digging deep, she kind of bends over a little bit, coughing out a little bit of her black blood, and turns to look at you, hisses. She's looking really, really rough.
And that's when I'll use my action to attack her.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
And is this at advantage?
Yeah, you're flanking with one swing.
That will be a that's a 16.
16 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
4 plus 3, 7.
7. She as she turns around to hiss at one swing, you just move your rapier forward just a bit so that as she turns, it just slits her throat and she falls down in mid-hiss. And she is out of here.
Cool. And then I will might be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna move back this direction. I'm gonna move there.
Okay. Alrighty. That brings us to Avir. You, from your angle, see Leaf go down and a paralyzed witch hovering above him. What would you like to do?
Scorching ray on the paralyzed witch.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack.
I have to roll the hit for each of the rays, right? There's 3 of them.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, range spell attack for each
Yeah.
ray. Cool. 20,
Hits.
14,
Just misses.
and 18.
Hits.
Is this at advantage?
No. Hold person doesn't give advantage, to my knowledge. Wait, but being paralyzed gives advantage?
That's what I was
Yep.
thinking.
So we'll say the first roll was the 20 and the 18. The second roll
2014.
2014. that's what I meant. 20 and 14, and the second roll was 18, and you can roll that one at advantage, see if you get a crit on that one.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so second one hits, and go ahead and roll one more with advantage.
And oh my gosh, I rolled like 4 14s doing this, so that's another dirty 20.
Okay. So all 3 hit. Go ahead and roll damage on all 3.
Okay, after the first 2, giving me 18. So let me roll the last one. Yeah, that's 27 fire damage.
27 fire damage. You shoot out your 3 scorching rays at the witch, and each one buries deeper into her, and you can kind of see the pain flare over her. And as each scorching ray barrels into her, you can just see the flames start to lick over her, and on the final one, it just engulfs her completely, and burns away her face a little bit, so where all you can see is the skull with the teeth kind of coming out, and she is gone.
Hi, bitch.
Alrighty. Does that end your turn?
Yeah, that's gonna. Oh, I'm gonna move toward Leaf.
Okay.
Now I'm my turn because I can't give him a potion when.
Giving someone else a potion would be an action.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna stand here for now.
Okay. Which brings us to their turn. The witch on the ground in front of Krakus looks around, seeing her three coven mates fall, looks up at the wolf with panic in her eyes, and you, Krakus, start to see a bunch of dark, cold energy coalescing around her as her eyes go completely black. It continues to just coalesce around her, tightening around her skin, and then explodes in a dark ball of necrotic energy. I need Tristan, Krakus, and One Swing. And hold on, how far away is other Tristan? Also, both Tristans, Krakus, and One Swing. I need you to make Constitution saving throws.
15.
15.
Dirty 20. Oh, I'm sorry. 22 saving throw.
Okay, so 22 saves, 15 saves. Krakus? 8 fails. 8 fails. Krakus and Tristan, you guys, having not really encountered a whole lot of witches in the past, see this dark energy forming around, and as it blows out, Tristan B and Krakus, you guys take 24 points of necrotic damage.
Woof.
And half to Tristan in One Swing.
Oh my god. I am at 1 health.
And she is dead. You see the no remnant of the witch in front of you. And we're going to keep us in initiative order. Krakus, you're up.
Are there any enemies?
Go ahead and make a perception check. There are no enemies, so I'm just going to go ahead. Leaf, I need you to make one more death saving throw.
Well, if there's no enemies, then I'm going to bonus action turn out of my wild shape and run over to him and cast healing. Cast
healing.
It doesn't take anything to drop out of for a moon druid.
Right.
Correct. So I'm going to do second level cure wounds over at Leaf after I run over to him.
Okay, go ahead and roll dem heals.
That is an 8 and a 1 for a 14 plus, or 8, 9 plus 5 is 14.
Alrighty.
Why are all of the pretty women trying to kill me?
You're just too pretty for them.
Krakus, I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How's my face?
As Krakus held the healing hands, Leaf, the cuts across your face stitch up rather nicely, except for one that goes essentially across the bridge of your nose below your eyes. It leaves a deep scar.
It'll give you some character.
Chicks dig scars, right? Right?
I don't know about chicken burgers, but yeah.
Oh God.
Never mind.
Tristan, one swing, you see Tristan just like off in the distance, being kind of the one of the closest ones to him, like kind of hobbling away back towards the camp, past Tristan Balsaran, and you are otherwise still in the woods with. Well, actually, I don't know if Tristan with 1 HP is walking away, but you still have the word stones by that tree.
I used my last 5 points of healing hands on myself.
Alrighty. So wounds start to stitch up quite a bit. You're feeling a little bit better, maybe a little dizzy.
Yeah, just a little bit. So I guess we should finish burying these word stones then.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll start
Over.
like digging with my hand. Because I don't think we have a shovel. But like just sitting crisscross applesauce, just like digging with my hand to make a hole big enough.
Yeah, just like a kid kind of sitting on the beach making a sandcastle or trying to dig to make a pool in the beach. It's just one swing, just going.
And once it's big enough, I'll push it all in so Tristan doesn't have to touch anything and cover it up. And I'm just gonna stand up. And I'm just gonna drag my greatsword behind me like a serial killer would. And I'm gonna go walk in, find a rock to put my head on close to the fire, and I'm going to sleep.
All right. So Tristan, you just see him bury the stone, pat it down, drag his sword off. He looks around the camp a little bit, finds his rock, and just like collapses onto the ground, and it immediately starts snoring.
Yep.
I'm going to take a deep breath and start collecting my equipment, bow that I dropped, and all the rest of that, and take up a place where I can keep a watch. But I'm also going to use my second wind ability while I wait for that short rest to kick in.
Alrighty. So you guys see other Tristan kind of go around and pick his stuff up. He just kind of falls onto his knees in front of the fire. You notice him kind of take a deep breath, and as he does, he looks like he looks a little healthier, and immediately just goes into his trance for the evening. So you guys still have two witch bodies right around the camp. Anyone else would like to do anything before you go to sleep?
All right. The broom that I jumped on.
Yeah.
Does it? I'll look around. Do any of you know if this is magical? Do you think it would still carry somebody potentially?
One swing and Eve, go ahead and make Arcana checks.
Yeah, buddy, low in squad. You know, that's not horrible. But 12 for me.
Okay. One swing. Oh, of course. I'm gonna roll it for him. Well, I can't roll over a 10, so I rolled a 4, and I think he's -1 on int, or is he 0 on int? Let's find out.
He's -1.
Okay, so 3.
What?
Eve, you have noticed in the past that the only witch that you can recall did have her broom stolen from her multiple times, but those who found it weren't. Those who stole it were not able to figure out how to make it work. You're not
Right.
sure if you could potentially, with time, get to know if it would fly for you or anything like that. You just know in the past with those people also ended up dead shortly after.
Okay, so I relay that to other Tristan.
Okay.
Why did One Swing roll that?
Yeah.
Because he has a history of knowing witches.
Okay.
Oh. Arcana?
You being where you're from, there aren't Iron Teeth witches to encounter.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the people who would specifically have encountered them before roll for that. If you wanted to, sit and spend time trying to fully study the broom, you could.
I'll take, when we do watches, I'll take watch with OG Tristan and study it while we're on watch.
Okay. Easy enough. Would anyone else like to do anything before?
Yeah, just in case, I'm just gonna also cast Cure Wounds on myself. So I have one more slot,
Okay.
and which will get me up 6 more health.
Alrighty. Tristan kind of looking around, exhausted from how this day has gone so far, just continues to heal himself up because he's not a fan of these woods. It would appear.
And Krakus is going to walk back over to Leaf and cast Cure Wounds again.
Alright.
For 11 points of healing.
Alrighty. So Leaf, you take that healing, and you guys start to bed down for the night. And I believe it was going to be Leaf and Eve taking first watch.
Yeah, it sounds okay.
Sure.
Alrighty.
That makes sense.
So everyone starts to bed down for the evening, with Tristan still meditating in front of the fire itself. What would you two? Is there anything you guys would like to do before rolling their perception checks?
I would say like the first half hour, you would just be writing in her journal,
Okay.
and then right afterward, she gets up and wakes up One Swing.
One Swing, how easy is it to wake you up right now? Oh, he also still said BRB.
Oh right. Shoot. Of course. Well, it's gotta be him.
Um,
And maybe we could swap up the watches.
all right, go ahead and roll perception checks for me, anyways, and we'll kind of retcon.
Retcon? Okay. What's my perception modifier?
I don't know.
I don't know.
17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, 17. Yeah. You guys, kind of looking out, seem to notice that it's nice and quiet for the most part. Animals are actually starting. Some of the nocturnal animals are starting to come out and move around, giving your camp kind of a wide berth. But a lot more movement than before when you guys were wandering around and before finding that hut. Yeah, your watch goes by otherwise without any without anything going on, Krakus.
Yep.
The shelter of the oak-walled forest surrounds you and kind of starts to comfort you as you find your way to sleep. A soft voice enters your mind, comforting and a little maternal. You've not heard the voice before, but it says, "My child of earth and stone, these are trying times for all of Erilea. Do not let yourself forget your purpose." And then as that voice ends on that sentence, you feel a warm touch in that space between your eyes and a flash of warm light. You find yourself back in the laboratory that you just all left. Furbolgs all chained to the tables around you. "Please, please, no!" You hear from one of the chambers as a dark figure begins walking towards that table. The figure takes a flask of some sort of dark liquid, pulls back the head of the furball, kind of forcing the jaw open, and shoves the liquid down his throat. Right next to him, one of the witches that you just fought, actually, walks up to the figure and says, "Is it working? You know the Duke will not put up with more failure." The voice responds, It's working. It just takes time for the stone to take hold and the appropriate arcane presence to finish the charge." That figure reaches out and grabs a rag and starts wiping his hands, and turns into the lantern light of the room, where you see, as the light hits his face, your father. And it all starts to fade out, and that motherly voice re-enters your mind, saying, "The world grows darker every day. You can feel it in the leaves falling from the branches of the forest. Find your way to the light, Krakus." And that's it. Which brings us to our next watch. One Swing, are you back? No, One Swing is not. Which you guys can go let Tristan Belceron know that you're wanting him to take up the next watch. And Tristan, if you want to go ahead and roll your perception check, unless there's something you would like to do while everyone else is sleeping. Unless you are also a sneaky motherfucker.
No. Tristan's a pretty lawful dude, so no, he'll take a lap every 20 minutes or so, but do it as quietly as he can. And I will roll my perception check.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Yeah, that's awful. A 1.
A 1?
For a total of a 3. 5.
Nice.
5.
As you sit down to take your watch, you notice a little firefly kind of flying around, very pretty. And as it's flying around, it gets a little distracted and flies right into your eye. But luckily, your watch goes by with pretty uneventfully. Nothing seems to come anywhere near your camp, and you guys kind of continue on. And then there were 2 more watches. I know that Tristan and Avier were going to take one of them. I'm just going to have One Swing take his watch real quick, and I'll have you guys take the... Oh, Or Krakus, you could take a watch.
After that, he probably won't.
Okay. All right. Well, the
If it's one of those that I need to, I will. But
no.
otherwise,
Perfectly fine. Tristan kind of wakes up one swing to take his watch, and again, the theme of me not rolling over a 10 continues, and I rolled a 2. He one swing kind of props himself up on the rock, kind of just staring directly into the fire itself. Kind of takes a few deep breaths and zones out for the most part. But the watch itself goes by uneventfully. Which brings us to our last watch of the evening. Avier and Tristan. Before I go into last watch, since One Swing still has not returned, do you want to go ahead and do whatever you were going to do, Eve?
I mean, I guess I could. I just kind of do need one swing for it.
Okay. I mean, you can hold off too. I was just...
Yeah.
Tristan and Avier, would you like to go ahead and take your watch?
Oh. You said it's perception?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
7.
I got a 4.
7?
You're dumb.
I think
That battle took that.
the two big battles that you guys went through today just kind of leave you exhausted. Even with your restful sleeping, you're kind of constantly just like worried that something's going to jump out at you. Not really able to focus on any one part of the woods. But your watch goes by uneventfully.
During the watch, would I be able to check the other 2 bodies?
Go for it.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
14.
14. Easy enough. You, as you start digging through one of the bodies, you find... let's... Hold on one second. You find 21 gold pieces. You find about 8 arrows. And on the body that had been over Leaf, you find a notebook. And kind of flipping through the notebook, I'll send you a copy of this, but as you flip through it, you do see some anatomical images of furbolgs, and notes on the word stones and some of those strange symbols that you've seen in wordstone things, and similar symbols to what you've seen Avier write on things to open them.
Cool. 28. Sorry.
All good. And I do actually have that notebook. I'll send it to you after the session today,
Okay, cool.
so you can kind of see what you're looking at.
I'm gonna split the gold with the party just for
Okay.
brevity's sake. If
Yeah.
everybody else wanted to take 4 gold
4 gold to everyone.
instead of handing out individually in the morning.
So you guys, under your pillow when you wake up, find 4 gold pieces.
The tooth fairy came.
Yep.
Because I definitely lost some teeth getting down to 1 hit point.
Indeed.
Oh, I was at negative 14.
All right.
So I was gonna study the broom while we were on watch.
That's right. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Actually, no. Roll just a straight intelligence check.
Damn it! I rolled really well on that Arcana check.
Sorry.
Fine, I'm good. Hey, I rolled this exact same thing with different modifiers. So yeah, 18.
18. Studying it, kind of examining the wood, you do notice that it does come from the wood comes from an ironwood tree, which can be imbued with magical properties based on the blood of the person touching them. There is a possibility that you could reattune to your own blood, but it would take towards the bottom of it, you do actually see some of those same word symbols as well. And you not knowing a lot about the word marks themselves yet, there are a few symbols that look vaguely familiar to you. One of them might be one that could reattune it to you if you learned the appropriate symbol.
Okay.
Alrighty. Shelby,
Yes.
or Eve,
Yes.
would you like to have your conversation with One Swing as you guys start waking up in the morning?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, Leaf's also a part of it, but
Is Trap back?
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
all right. So I'm gonna try to wake up One Swing.
So, Avier and Tristan are kind of studying their finds, which might explain why their perception rolls were so low, because they were studying other things. And Eve, you kind of get up and go to One Swing and Leaf.
I have to talk to you guys. It's very, very important, okay?
Okay.
Just follow me real quick, okay?
Okay.
Real quick, sorry, One Swing. Roll me a wisdom check.
9.
9. Overnight, and due to the distance from Morath that you guys were able to get, you were able to lose your 1 point of corruption.
Congrats.
So you kind of wake up feeling a little invigorated. That battle with the witches being as intense as it was, and all of that, you're feeling a little more like yourself.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Eve?
I need you guys to come with me, okay?
Oh, okay.
And I make sure both One Swing and Leaf are following behind me.
Okay.
And I want to take us about 80 feet away from the camp.
I'm gonna ask One Swing and Giant what he thinks this is about.
And Giant, I'll say back. I don't know. Probably the shit going on between her and the spoopy magic lady.
It's just gonna be a huh? What happened? Question mark.
She read her journal. Oh, and Giant. She read her journal. She caught her reading her journal. She shot her with a little spoopy magic out of her hand. The old spoopy magic lady just kind of like walked away from it, was like, whatever, it's done. And I don't know, there's been some sly comments, and I don't know. I'm sure she's going to try to make sure that we're on her side.
Huh.
You don't
knowing nothing.
you don't speak Giant by chance, do you? Okay.
Great.
So you just hear a lot of deep guttural noises coming from Avier and Tristan. You kind of see Actually, no. With your low perception rolls, I'm saying you don't see them. So go ahead and continue on.
All right, so
What
let's write
about
out.
Crackus?
This is
I'm
this is
sorry.
the morning
We're
when everyone
sleeping.
was asleep.
All right, so about 80 feet out, I kind of just sit down on the ground, and I say, I know I'm the newest member to your guys' group, and I don't want to cause any sort of issues, but Aviator isn't really that trustworthy of a person. As One Swing knows, she took my book and read it in the middle of the night, and just to give you guys some context, that is the way I communicate with my patron, the one that gives me my magic. And it's just disrespectful of her to enter my room, search for the book, and then read it without permission. And I just wanted to make sure that she just didn't lie to you about it or try to stir more drama than there needs to be.
You would think out of a group of people that the thief would be the one sneaking around into other people's things.
You know, exactly.
In any other group, I would agree with you.
I'm just trying to steal people's hearts. Just kidding.
Failing
You're
miserably.
not.
Oh, I know. It's awesome. Great. Love dying to pretty things.
Oh, I'm gonna look at Eve and be like, it doesn't matter. I fucking have a demon in my head. I'm growing horns. I get demonic. I bleed black. I'm gonna tell you right now, girl. I don't give a fuck what's in your book. You're here. You help. You turn. We fight. And it's the way it goes. I don't.
Well, it's more so if she tries to attack me or anything like that, I want to make sure I have people to at least, help me out. I'm not necessarily the strongest person.
You gave me this coin. That means we're friends. And I'll put the special coin back.
Oh,
I'll look at her and be like, Odo thought you were good. I have no reason not to trust Odo's judgment. And you've been, to be honest, I don't care about your past because nobody really seems to care about mine. So, to protect you, I will. To fight, I'll do what I have to do to keep the group together.
thank you. That's all I could really ask.
Great.
All right, so you guys make your way back into the camp.
Yes.
I'm eating pocket bacon.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
Good.
Roll for pocket bacon. No.
Six pocket bacon.
Oh, nice. You are feeling your hunger satisfied. Tristan, while you're kind of studying your book more, go ahead and roll me a d20.
That would be a 3.
A 3. Go ahead and roll a d100 for me.
That would be a 50.
50. As
Straight across.
as you are reading the book, you're kind of hit with this wave of energy, and you feel a little different, and hear a whisper in your ear going, "You're welcome." And for the next minute, whenever you try to speak, pink bubbles will float out of your mouth.
What did I hear? You broke up.
Whenever you speak for the next minute, pink bubbles float out of your mouth.
Oh, the voice in my head didn't say anything.
Oh, you're welcome. It whispered, "You're
Oh.
welcome."
What just happened?
Okay.
All right.
Is this still overnight or is this the morning?
This is the morning.
Okay. Cool. I turn to Avier and I say, feel a little weird.
Avier, you kind of look at
What the
Tristan. No sound is coming from his mouth, but pink bubbles are floating out every time he opens it.
Hey, bud. What the
Yeah?
fuck?
What?
What is happening?
What
oh
are
my God.
these? What's going on?
Again,
Detect magic on him because I would be very concerned.
okay. He. Do you carry any magical items on you, Tristan?
I don't think so.
Okay. You see a little part under
I have
his
the necklace.
armor glow a little brightly, but nothing out of the ordinary that you don't usually see light up on him.
Okay.
You might see a faint glow from some of the marks in the book itself, specifically around the word marks that are written in it.
What's
And everyone
I
else.
turn to Krakus, knowing that he does magical things as well. Be like, what's happening? Can you help me?
Again, no sound coming out of
And
his
he
mouth.
just left.
No sound coming out of his mouth, just the bubbles floating out. Until a minute later, you just hear Tristan going, "Ah, what's happening to me?"
I would like to pop the bubbles as I can.
Go ahead and roll a bubble attack check.
Okay. Like I don't know. 8?
An 8? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Those bubbles are hard to pop.
I'll say you're able to pop one bubble. The rest
they're
of them
still
seem to kind of
coming out of my...
move around your finger as you poke, just like that little bit of air, just kind of pushing them around.
When
I
they're
will
still
pretend
coming out,
that
I'm
this is
gonna
all
say,
What was that, Tristan?
which
B?
one?
Go ahead. I'm just messing around with these.
No, me too. Well, while they're still coming out, I was just gonna say, "Stop it! Those are my bubbles!" And I try and bring them back towards me.
Oh my God.
And after that minute is up, you're able to speak normally again. You guys have completed your long rest, so make sure to complete your long rest.
Long rest. Handy dandy long rest button.
Yep. Because I'm sure some people want their spell slots and their health back. You guys wake up feeling rested. You all find 4 gold pieces under your pillow. Not sure how it got there, but they're there. As
Wait,
you're...
each of us find 4 gold pieces under our pillow?
Yep.
What? I was laying on a rock.
Yep, it's under the rock for you.
Or there's a pillow like right next to him.
And the day is yours. Do you guys continue your journey to Paranth?
Yeah. We should
Yes.
definitely get underway to make it back to Trent as soon as possible.
For brevity's sake, is there anything you guys would like to do on the journey? Traveling straight on, you should be able to make it to Paranth by nightfall. But if there's anything you would like to do, discuss, or anything like that on your journey there, I'll just have we'll roll one perception check for the journey itself, just to kind of get you guys moved along.
Can I make a perception check for any signs of Odo anywhere?
Go ahead, make a perception check.
It's a 1.
Oh, buddy.
Do I notice him looking around?
Yeah, I would say.
I'm-
Go ahead and make a perception check as well, Tristan.
Say he's not trying to be discreet.
Yeah. Okay.
17.
17. Yeah, you turn around and you kind of, one swing's kind of walking along next to you, and you see him often kind of stop and turn around and just look around him, specifically looking down on the ground, looking for something.
Then I'm gonna slowly make my way to the back of the group where Avier is, and use Unseen Servant again.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
That's a 14.
14? Yep.
And then I'm just gonna have the Unseen Servant, put his hand on Tristan on One Swing's shoulder, lightly.
On his shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay. So One Swing.
Or can he? Hold on. I gotta see if he's tall enough. Can he reach that?
Depends on how tall the thing is.
That's what I'm.
One swing's 8
I don't think
foot,
it
shoulder.
specifies.
Would probably be about 7 foot.
Yeah. 7.5, depending.
I would imagine even if it's at the standard, like at 5 feet tall, it could probably reach up to touch his shoulder.
Okay.
So yeah, you just kind of feel a gentle caress on your shoulder. I believe that would be 14. What's your passive perception, Avier?
If my iPad hadn't just fallen asleep right before you asked that, I would
Nope.
know.
Nobody sees it. I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, One Swing, you feel kind of a gentle caress touch your shoulder.
I swing hammer fist again at the same where it came from.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack.
22.
Hits.
Okay.
6 damage.
And it's gone.
So again, you feel that gentle caress on your shoulder. Quickly swing back with your elbow, and as you do, you hear a as the Unseen Servant dissipates.
I'm gonna reach to see if my horns have grown any sharper.
Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Ooh. Like full D100, D100, D10, or you just want
Full D100.
Okay. 40 even.
40? Nope. Seem to be at where they were yesterday.
Great. Sigh of relief and just keep walking.
Okey-doke.
Very poorly looking for
Your buddy.
my friend. Within 1.
With a 1.
I'm lifting up giant rocks as we're walking to see if he's underneath there.
You find like a stink bug that kind of sprays you in the face a little bit, getting a little of it in your eye. It kind of stings a little bit.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Anything else you guys would like to do before arriving in Paran? Okay. So you guys continue through the woods, not finding a whole lot in your path. It seems that the little Fey folk are kind of keeping your path ahead of you clear. As you break through the forest, you guys see the sun currently setting to your west. So to your left, as you're coming out of the forest, directly north, you see Lake Paranth itself. And what you guys, all of you, remember of Paranth were the incredibly tall stone walls built all around the city. all of which has been completely demolished and torn down. There's some bits of black smoke coming up from the city itself in various spots, but that there are huge chunks of the wall broken down.
Pull out my greatsword and keep advancing.
Is this?
I would say
this is
you're.
different than when I left.
Yeah, and I would say you're probably still about 500 feet away from it, from the city itself.
Are we riding or walking at this point?
You guys, as you exit the forest itself, can do either.
Tristan's gonna jump on his horse and look and see if they're coming. I have to find the king. I have to find what happened here. This wasn't like this when I left.
One swing will hop on the Eladrin horse. Is that I forget what it's
Asterion.
called. Asterion. Nice.
Yeah.
And I'll reach for Eve.
Yay.
I'll hop on my horse and follow my friends.
Alrighty.
Brackus would hop on his horse. Had one.
Tinkleberg.
Thank you, Trap.
Do I know any shortcuts or back roads or something that might get us to, assuming the palace or something like that?
Yeah, so
faster?
Lord Locken is the lord of the city, and you know the main roads to get through it, but a lot of those passageways were built underneath the stone wall itself. So you can definitely attempt to try to investigate portions of the stone wall as you get closer to the city to find out if any of those passageways are still accessible.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
To head in the closest direction to a passageway and then slowly work my way out.
Okay. So the nearest one that you would know is at the wall near where the Stag's Head Tavern would be, which you guys recall as well as being Magda's Tavern. So is everyone working their way closer to the city?
Yes.
Yeah, Avir's still gonna stay in the back of the group though.
Okay.
Same.
As you guys approach, I'm just going to say those who have spellcasting abilities make a spellcasting saving throw. So whatever your spellcasting ability is, plus your saving throw.
Natural
Oh
20.
boy, let's go. Okay, that's good.
Thank you, packet of crackers that I just got.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Holy
20.
shit, 22.
Nice.
So that's a total of...
Krakus,
12.
12.
What are we adding? The modifier or the spell attack?
Saving throw. So for you, it would be a charisma saving throw.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
okay.
I'm sorry, 22.
Okay. Krakus, you take 3 points psychic damage. As you guys approach and get closer to the wall, you feel this light wave of energy pass as you feel as though all magic has been sucked away from you and is waiting on the other side of the wall into Paranth. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me, Tristan B.
That's a 23.
23. Yeah, so you go right up to where the wall was, and you know that there was a passage that led from the wall down into right below Magda's Tavern, who Magda, you know, is a childhood friend of Lord Locken. and that continues up towards the palace itself. It is buried in rubble of the wall itself, and Eve, with your passive perception, or not Eve, Aver, with your passive perception, you notice that some of that dark smoke that's been coming out is also coming from the Stag's Head Tavern.
I don't know if they haven't noticed, but we should probably go check that out.
Yeah, Tristan's. If I can ride there, I'm riding, and when I have to hop off, I'm hopping off.
Are you attempting to clear away the passage to get under the Stag's Head, or are you going straight for it?
I'm not terribly strong. Looking at it, which way do I think would be faster, to try to dig out the underground passage or to attempt to pass through the city?
Passing through the city would be faster.
But probably more dangerous.
You don't know what's going on in the city right now.
Sure. I'll look at the group and ask them. Do we think we have time to clear this? To reach the underground passage?
I mean, ask people, we could try.
All right, then let's try. I'll start trying to dig things out. I'm not terribly diggy, but I'll do it.
As well, one swing.
All right. One swing. Go ahead and roll a strength check. Same with you, Tristan.
19.
Okay.
I'll help as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength check. 8. Um,
10.
Tristan and Tristan, you guys are you see where you can see where the door is that leads underground, and you try to move some of the bigger rubble covering it, and just it won't budge. So both of you kind of grab like palm-sized bits of rubble and move it off to the side, and then while you guys are doing that, one swing comes up and kind of stares at the rubble for a little bit, and then just kind of like eyeballs the biggest piece that he can find, grabs onto it, lifts with his legs, not his back, and drops it behind, almost uncovering it fully, making it to where you might be able to open it up.
One swing will just open it up then, if he thinks he can do it.
Yeah, go ahead and make another strength check for me.
16.
16? Yeah, easy enough. You reach forward and start pulling at the doors that are built into the side itself. It looks more like a drainage system. But you are able to kind of find that it is hinged. So you pull it open, clearing away the rest of the rubble, and you guys can start to kind of make your way in if you would like.
Did we hear Aver say anything about the tavern?
Aver, did you say something about the tavern?
Yeah, for those that didn't notice, I was like, hey guys, tavern, we should check that out.
Then yes, you would have heard that.
Bad things.
Should we? I think we should go help at the Magnus or whatever at the tavern before we go through here. Maybe we can get people to safety if there's people in there through the tunnel.
Cool.
Leaf jumps in.
To the tavern.
So Tristan, the tunnel that you just had cleared does have an entrance into below the tavern. So you guys can go into it from down there. That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
So you
do
guys enter the passageway itself. As you work your way in about 50 feet, Avier, roll me a perception check.
No, I'm so bad at perceiving. Oh, hell yeah, natural 20. That's 22.
Okay. As you enter the passageway, you hear some dripping around you, and you kind of smell the air, and you smell smoke, but it doesn't smell like fresh smoke. It smells like it's kind of burned itself out and is just kind of smoking, like clearing out itself. But other than that, looks like a pretty clear passage.
Okay.
As you guys continue walking forward, you do see a ladder built into the side of the wall and what looks like a trapdoor above. This is what you would know, Tristan, as the entrance into the Stag's Head Tavern cellar.
I'll start. I'll go up. I'll start trying to open the door, trap door.
Okay. As you open the door, you hear that creak as it swings open. The cellar itself looks pretty untouched for the most part. Do you enter the cellar itself?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you guys see Tristan climb up and into the Stag's Head Tavern cellar.
One swing would be right behind him.
All right.
As they're climbing up, I'd like to listen at the door for the next exit out of the cellar to see if I hear people on the other side.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
This is a 22.
22. So you kind of listening through the door. You don't hear anything, which is a little concerning to you because obviously this tavern is usually a little busier even during the day. And you do know that Magda likes to talk to herself, even when there's no one there. But you hear nothing.
Just look back and say it's too quiet, and then open the next door and continue moving.
Has everyone worked their way into the cellar at this point?
Yep.
You guys, Tristan, you walk into the next room, and the inside of the Stag's Head Tavern has been completely scorched. Everything looks burnt, and things that aren't burnt are completely broken and shattered. The windows are completely broken through, the doors hanging off the hinges. I would say with that perception check earlier, you were getting, in addition to the smoke, a kind of rotten smell filling your nose as well.
Like sulfur, like rotten eggs, or like rotting flesh.
Like rotting flesh.
Oh no.
I'll look around to see if there's anybody buried beneath. I don't know if there is rubble, just the way you said it was like all burnt and everything. But you said some things were crushed, like are the doors put in?
Doors are hanging off the hinges. The tables themselves have been burned and kind of broken down, causing some rubble. The structure of the place seems fairly intact. Didn't seem like they were trying to burn the building down, but they were trying to burn the place. And as you look around, you do notice under some of the rubble what looks like they could potentially be bodies.
Okay.
If you want to search the room, you can go ahead and make an investigation check. Everyone else, if you're marking your way up the stairs that Tristan went into, you are noticing the same kind of sight. And
knowing that there are people behind me that are better trained with medicine, because I can't heal anybody for shit. As soon as I see one of them, I'll just say, search for bodies, search for anybody that might still be alive. I'll check the street, and I'd like to now, with one of my short swords drawn, no, my longbow, carefully make it to like the doorway that looks out onto the street, or if there's a window, I want to sort of how to put this. I don't know, cover shooter my way over there and try to sneak out.
He's siege leaning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Gears of War. I would like to Gears of War duck cover roll my way into.
I gotcha. You're. Go ahead and make a stealth check. And then are you attempting to look out the door and see what's around?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to get sort of a lay of the land in front of us. So for stealth, that is a 16.
16.
And then would you like another perception check?
Yes, please. Perception
Okay.
check. While he's doing that, you guys have worked your way up and are in the tavern itself. What would you guys like to do? Is there?
I'll make an investigation check for bodies.
Okay.
15 on perception.
15 on perception. Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check. Is anyone looking with him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation checks. Anyone who's starting to look around.
Jesus.
God damn it.
My rolls are like freaking extremes right now.
I know, right? Same.
I still have not rolled over a 10 tonight.
I'm so
Oh, I
sorry.
rolled an 11. I rolled 111.
You hit me.
You also had high initiative. So.
You
Oh, that's
crit
true.
Me to death.
Oh, that's right. I did crit.
Like what are you talking about?
I just remember the bad ones, guys.
I got a 24.
I got an 18.
18,
You got
24.
a 10.
Wait, Leaf, did you just say you got a nat 20?
Yeah.
One swings is 11.
One swing, you're kind of looking around and seeing the bodies and.
But how's the owl?
You kind of look up over the table and you see all of these broken casks with liquid just surrounding them. Ale completely wasted, spilled on the ground. Everyone who rolled above an 18, searching around, you do find 9 bodies that are completely scorched and burned, and one of those bodies is without a head.
Oh.
The body without a head, Eve, you kind of look at and study a little closer, and while you weren't super familiar with her, you do recognize what looks like some of the burned clothing of Magda.
No.
And Tristan, on your perception check outside the door, you kind of like you kind of crawl under towards the door hanging off its hinge and kind of angle yourself so you can see down the street. Looking down the street, it is almost completely vacant. You know Paranth as being a very open city where people were always out during the day, walking the streets, talking to each other. It's a very friendly city itself, and sitting on a pike right next to the door is Magda's head.
Oh, fucking A.
Kind of perpetually frozen in a look of sheer pain and horror.
Tristan's gonna take a moment and do like a very slow elven blink.
Yeah, and you've known Magda for a while, as she's been very close with Lord Locken. Known him since he was a young child and someone that he trusted greatly.
I'm gonna look up and tell them, seeing that they've started to find people. Leave them. They're long dead. We'll have to find Lord Lachlan if he lives. And barring that, well. And you just watch him sort of grit his teeth and step out into the street carefully, turning towards the palace.
You said you walked out into the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys see.
Wait, is there an underground passage?
Yeah, the underground passage continues to the castle.
Oh, then fuck it. I'm going back.
Okay.
I
You guys
understood for a moment.
You guys see Tristan kind of start to walk towards the door, and in just like absolute anger and frustration filling his eyes. And as he starts to step through the threshold, he kind of like shakes his head a little bit, and then turns and walks back towards the cellar doors and heading down the stairs.
We all saw the pike with Magda's head on it, right?
No, Tristan was specifically looking out the door to see it. Eve found and identified Magda's headless corpse.
Okay, well then if we don't know about the head, Avir would like to find whatever cloth is laying around. She doesn't care if she has to take it off the other body. She wants to cover Magda's body in respect.
All right. Go ahead and roll an investigation check, just to see if we can find anything that hasn't been completely turned to ash at this point.
12.
12. It takes you some time, about 10 minutes, but you're kind of able to find over by where the ale had spilled an assortment of dish towels that, due to getting pretty wet, are not burned and are able to use that to cover the body itself, or neck to toe.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean to do that.
I don't believe you.
He was trying to correct himself.
Yeah.
All right, Tristan, lead the way. Let's get to the palace, castle, fancy place.
The fancy
Agreed.
place.
How small is this
All right.
tunnel?
It's actually a pretty large tunnel. You've got about 15 feet wide, 10 feet tall. As you're working your way through, it's kind of like it's the sewer system, but doesn't smell as bad as a sewer system might smell.
Then, since I can't pull out my greatsword, I will have both hand axes in my hand ready for anything that comes.
You got it. Easy enough. So you guys continue down the pathway. Tristan B, go ahead and just make a general wisdom check. The paths do fork and turn pretty regularly. And a 12 was the DC that I put in my head. So you are able to kind of... it takes you some time as you navigate from fork to fork, but you are able to lead the group to right behind the castle walls, or castle gates. You guys know that there are not walls around there, and up to a doorway that leads out into the courtyard of the castle.
Does the castle look intact or like it's been assaulted or damaged?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Again, all the perception checks for this, guys.
Natural 20 for a 24.
Nice. Looking through, the castle itself looks completely untouched. Looking around the courtyard, though, similar story to what you saw in the streets by the Stag's Head Tavern. The gates of Peranth Castle were always open to anyone who wanted to come in and seek an audience with Lord and Lady Locken. It's what you notice are the gates have been closed, and there is none of the people of Peranth in the courtyard. What you do see is a group of about 15 soldiers wearing the Otterlin blue and red in the courtyard, kind of keeping watch. And then across beyond the gate itself, you do see, with a natural 20, a fairly large pile of what looks to be bodies that have all been burned.
Okay. I apologize because the lore is
It's
new
fine.
to me. Otterland, I would recognize as.
Yes, I'm sorry. Otterlin is was the kingdom that you guys just traveled from. So Otterlin and Terrasen border each other.
They're bastards.
Terrasen is pretty well known for being a pretty peaceful nation. They're mostly ruled by magic users and defended by magic users, but they haven't had to use their defenses a whole lot. And Otterlin, the king of Otterlin, is very well known for being someone who despises all things magic and all things relating to magic. The king and his soldiers tend to be those that despise people who are not entirely human. Specifically, they don't like furbolgs and full elves. Half elves typically can live in Otterlin without any issue. They just tend to hide that slight point to their ears. But anything relating to magic, they tend to fear greatly.
Do I know a way into the castle from where we're at that looks like we wouldn't immediately draw the attention of more than a dozen guards?
There are some bushes and things that you could crawl into, but the tunnel itself came up directly to here. There isn't really, from your knowledge, a different way to enter.
Okay, so I don't know of a back door, side door, a entrance.
Not from here.
So
You could potentially backtrack and go up through the city itself, and find an entrance alongside the mountains. Because the castle itself is built into the mountain range right there, the Rune Mountains.
Very cool. I'll look at them and I'll point out the things that I saw, and very quietly. I know it's a long shot that anyone survived this, but if they've held any of the royal bloodline for ransom or some sort of puppet state, for whatever reason, I think we owe it. I owe it to them. I know that.
As he's saying this, you guys do hear in the courtyard a voice call out and say, "Well, it looks like we were able to find all of the rebels to Terrasen. Thank you all for your help. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you'll stay a while longer to make sure that Peranth is safe. and you look out into the courtyard, and you guys see someone who looks familiar. Where Cal Locken was a very warm-looking person with soft features. You kind of look out and you see someone who looks like he doesn't really work out that much, and he looks lordly in the sense that he probably has never lifted a sword in his life. But he does bear some resemblance to Cal Locken. Tristan, you would recognize him as Cal's younger brother, Vernon.
I would like to curse in Elvish, Orcish, and Sylvan. I just want to string those together. Spin.
You guys pick up some very creative slurs from Tristan looking out the out through the bars of the door.
Cal Locken's younger brother. Traitors. And it just starts again. And it's very melodic, but ends with fucking pig.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it was a coup?
Looks that way.
I can't think of what Winston would actually say. He would not say coup, but I can't think of a mountain word for coup.
A mountain word for coup.
A mountain dumb Goliath tribe word for coup. It's not a
A
switcheroo.
mountainy.
Take over.
Maybe an overtaking?
Overthrew his brother, or at least benefited from their hatred of magic.
Go ahead and roll me a history check, Tristan. B. What was that? I heard but I didn't hear anything else. Did I disconnect again? Is that what happened? Hello? Are you all being jerks, or... Ruh-roh. Uh-oh. Oh no! Wait, but am I still connected here? Oh my god. Is the stream alive? Is my internet dead? My stream still says it's going. Oh my god. Somebody tell me that I'm still here. Did Discord just crash? It looks like Discord just crashed. Ruh-roh. Oh my god. Because the rest of my internet is working fine. I think. Right? Oh no. We're going to turn that off. We're going to double check here. We're going to click that. We're going to click that. And we're going to click that. Am I still going? Oh. Am I still going? I am. What the hell? Okay. /unmod starfruit D. Okay, so did Discord crash for everyone, or did it just crash for me? That's what I want to know. Oh, you know why? Because Keith bought the other thing. He bought it before the first one was used. It is just me. Fantastic. Are we back? We're connecting. What a garbage app Discord is.
What happened?
I have no idea. My Discord just like randomly stopped. So,
It does that.
anyways, I don't even remember what happened because somebody was so Tristan was letting loose a string of curses in multiple languages in front of you guys. I had one swing roll I had Tristan roll a history check.
Yep.
What was your history check?
14 down to a 13.
Down to a 13? You definitely have had lots of encounters with Vernon Locken. He seems like very much a pushover from every interaction that you've had with him, and typically ignored for the most part, especially over the time of their childhood, as Cal was the oldest and set to inherit the lands itself.
Other than my immediate rage and vengeance, can I think of a reason to ask these people to risk their lives in what is now seemingly a destroyed and or occupied country?
We are the champions of Param.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm on board with that, but I'm trying to also understand where Tristan is coming from, so I apologize.
What a cowardly way to take over.
No. Listen, I said ask you guys. Doesn't mean I'm not Leroy Jenkinsing my way up there, but but that's the benefit of being more NPC than PC. I can
Jenkins
just
died.
go jump in some shit.
Just sacrifice yourself, forehead.
Make an
I'm
insight
down
check.
for scrap.
Make an insight check, Tristan.
Thank you. Insight is a 12.
12. Okay. You look at every individual in the group in front of you, some of whom look quite distraught after seeing Magda's charred corpse. And you see the kind of a strong group of individuals, but you also remember that there's not magic here right now, and half of these people do a majority of their fighting while using magic.
Right.
So while they may be willing to charge into a fight with you, it might not end the way you want it to.
Can I try and wild shape?
What would you like to wild shape into?
A dire wolf.
A dire wolf? Okay. So you focus on the image of a dire wolf in your mind, and you guys hear some cracking of bones, as you usually hear when Krakus wild shapes into another animal, and you start to see hair appear in his nose start to elongate, and halfway into it just kind of snaps back into Krakus's Furbolg form.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's a little creepy.
We should not hang out here long term.
Trying to think.
How far is Vernon from me?
From you at the castle entrance, he's probably about, I would say, 120 feet away. Maybe 120 to 150 feet away.
I don't think there's much we can do.
Yeah, not even I could do anything about it at this distance.
We can go fight.
No.
Hey, DM, does that count as using one of my wild shapes?
It sure does.
Okay.
I can.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Can I also try something else?
Go for it.
I'd like to use my Furbolg magic to disguise myself as Lord Locken.
Okay.
My racial magic, not my druid magic.
All right. Hold on one second. I just need to double check one aspect of this. Okay, perfect. Good to know. So you guys, after watching Krakus attempt to change back into himself, change his form again, you guys notice a slight shimmer happen across him, and standing in front of you is Lord Cowlocken.
What?
No, I'm sorry, y'all. This is Krakus. I just wanted to see if this would work, and it does. I mean, I can try and talk like him as best I can.
I think at best that just gets you killed.
Yeah, they did kill that dude.
Or took him prisoner.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a good
May still
distraction.
have value. Yes, it is a distraction.
Tristan, you know that if the town was ever under siege, Cowlocken would immediately move his wife Marion and daughter Elide out to the king of Terrason's brother's country home, out to the east, just southwest of Orinth, the capital of Terrason. And they would have exited through Magda's tavern to escape. And Cal was to stay in the castle itself, and essentially fight to his dying breath, or find a way to continue fighting. You do know that he had multiple ways to escape if need be. Obviously, with everything going on, you don't know if he's alive or dead. You don't know if Marion and Elide are alive or dead. But you do know that he did have exits into other shops and people's homes that he trusted to be able to exit the city and get out. Obviously, Magda's Tavern being one that they were maybe not able to find, but an area that they knew to look for people. You do know that... Avier, make me an Arcana check.
23.
23. Okay. Um, you have not necessarily dealt with anti-magical fields, but you do know that if there is no magic in this city, that there has to be something in the city causing that. You're unsure if you imagine by removing that source that you might be able to use magic here again.
Everybody know that there is something here causing this, and it's not like a naturally occurring thing. I'll guess and say it's got something to do with all this wordstone, but that's just a guess.
Probably a pretty good guess based on everything that you guys have learned in your little more of a week of traveling and encountering these things with wordstone.
It's been a week.
An in-game week, guys.
Wow.
I spent
What
a
a
month
long
there.
week.
I imagine, so Tristan, if you would like to start leading them away from the courtyard itself, back into the tunnels, you guys could potentially travel to a few more places.
Yeah, I will. I'll at least try to usher them back into the tunnel so we can discuss without immediate threat of being found. And if there's something in the city, then perhaps it's in a central location or something along the walls. I know the directions that those waves came through, the ones that seem to damage the magic users. I don't know if that would hold any bearing on this.
Well, for a whole hour, so if we want to use it, I've got it.
And you guys see Cal Locken speaking, but you hear Krakus's voice, and it's very disconcerting for some of you guys, as you know, Krakus has his kind of drawl that is completely the antithesis of the way that Lord Locken carried and spoke when you met him. So, only slightly awkward for you guys. Tristan, you would know that there are 3 main areas that these tunnels go into, with 3 families that Lord Locken trusted the most. One of which went to the Stag's Head Tavern. The other entered into the cellar below the general store of like the main square of Paranth, and the third opening into kind of a tailor clothier shop.
Where should we begin? I'll convey that information.
Is there anywhere important to go?
Which one's more centralized?
You would know that
Say
the most
general store.
yeah, the most central one would be the general store.
I think we should go there.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'll start leading them that way.
Alrighty. So you guys continue into the tunnels and approach another trapdoor and ladder. Are you guys just climbing up, or are you wanting to try to listen in and see if you hear or see anything?
I'll give a listen.
Okay. So kind of taking the lead of Tristan, you guys, he climbs up the ladder, kind of tilts his head towards the door itself, and you rolled I need to open
14 total.
that. 14 total. You don't hear anything out of the ordinary. You do hear some some footsteps moving around, but they don't feel like they're in the immediate basement area of the general store. There might be some people moving around in the storefront itself.
All right, then I will, as carefully as I can, begin opening. I'll let them know, and then begin opening the trapdoor.
Okay. So you push open the trapdoor, another as it opens into a very, very dark room. As you guys enter, you do see what looks, and this is familiar to you, Tristan, but you do see a large table, a lot of bookshelves along the walls, papers kind of all over the table itself. It looks very much like a meeting room of some sort, or it has been turned into a meeting room of some sort as you enter.
Can I look over the papers and see what sort of meeting or information is being discussed here?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation check of it as everyone else kind of climbs out of and into the area. What do we got?
Total of 16.
Total of 16. So there are maps of Paranth itself throughout the kind of scattered across the table, and some papers with Lord Locken's seal on it as well, but broken and obviously opened and read. Some of them saying if you read any of the papers, a lot of it reference the heir of fire, and making sure to protect the heir of fire at all costs, and a lot of references to the heir of fire, and where to move people in case of a siege of Paranth.
Looks like some sort of word made it this way. Do any of you recognize this term, heir of fire? That's a wonderful collective.
Yeah, I would say Avir and Eve, go ahead and roll me history checks.
Oh boy.
21.
12.
Okay. The heir of fire. Ooh, actually, that probably would have been a religion check. Oh well.
I'm also good at that.
That's fine. So the heir of fire, you guys, Avir, rather, you know specifically that there is one deity in the Erilea pantheon known as Mala the Firebringer, who fell in love with with a king of Terrasen about 3,000 years ago. In doing so, her bloodline has passed through the royal family for generations. But it's been the last time that anyone with the magical prowess that was any way similar to Mala the Firebringer was 1,000 years ago during the last Volg War. And the newest one, the newest Galathinius that was born, Aelin Ashriver Galathinius, was born to the king's brother, Ro, and his, oh my god, his wife, whose name is escaping me. Oh my god. Do 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 do. Looking through my notes. Looking through my notes. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh
This
my god.
this note will up brought to you by
Evelyn.
nobody. Feel free
Yep.
to sponsor
No,
our
it's brought to you
stream.
by Evernote.
And his wife Evelyn Ashriver. They bore their daughter, Aelin Ashriver Galathinius, who would at this time be about 16 years old.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everybody that information.
Okay.
They're protecting a 16-year-old god?
Does
I
it
don't
seem
know,
like there's like
Not necessarily a god. The
I don't know that.
Fair enough. But
is there any
for
other like rooms of the shop? Does it seem like there's anybody left?
go ahead and make a like in this room specifically, or are you trying to go up into the actual shop itself?
Oh wait, where was the?
You guys are
The
below
table
the
setting?
shop. It's essentially the basement of the shop itself.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What?
Go up into the shop.
Okay. So
They did tell us that he heard footsteps up in the shop.
So yeah, approaching, kind of getting close to the doorway and stairwell that leads up to the shop, you do hear light footsteps kind of walking around on the floor above you. The room itself doesn't look like it's been in for a few days.
The main room of the shop.
You're not in the main room of the shop. You're hearing footsteps around the main room of the shop.
Okay.
If you want
well,
to,
that's what I said. Yeah.
so you're just going to go up the stairs and go into the main room of the shop.
To sneak. Yeah. Well,
You-
would-
Okay.
Unless somebody else would like to do something.
Go ahead and so as you get to the door, you notice that it's a sliding door that goes. Make an investigation check. Yeah.
16.
16? Okay, so you approach the top of the stairs, get to the door, and kind of feeling it, you gather that it's not a door that swings open, it slides. And as you start to kind of push it open a little bit, you notice it's a lot heavier than a normal door is itself. And upon further examination, looks to be a bookshelf.
Okay. Is there any like crack I can look through, or?
If you would like, you can attempt to slide the door open a little bit to peek in.
I look back at the group and see if anybody's doing anything.
What else are you guys doing down here?
Xavier is zoned out in her own world after telling them the information she told them.
I'll be sharing with them that if I'm understanding correctly, the princess, right? That's the one that I know, the place outside the city where they're supposed to go.
Yes, that would be Ro Galathinius and Evelyn Ashriver's country home.
Okay. I'll just be sharing that information with them, but seeing him start to slide open the door, I'll move to. I'd like to peek through the door with him, but I'll also say I'm not sure how many friendly faces we'll see around here. We may be giving up more just by opening the door.
If you guys go ahead.
Xavier's gonna grab Tristan and be like, "Hey, maybe we don't. Maybe we should get out of town."
Okay.
Maybe we all get to the woods and regroup.
Okay.
Do we want to check the last
Does
safe
do
house?
the do the footprints like sound hurried or?
No, it sounds. I mean,
Does it sound like furniture is being moved or?
no, it does sound like just people walking around. It is a general store, so you gather that it could just be traffic in the store itself. It doesn't. There doesn't seem to be a sound of a struggle happening. And from what you recall of the last time. Wait, were you at the general store, or was it just Leaf that went to the general store?
I've been
No.
to the general
Yeah.
store.
So
we've been
you, yeah. So you recall the really energetic elf, young elf that worked the general store, dreamed of adventure but was afraid to leave the castle walls. You only hear one person walking around. You don't. I wouldn't say you hear multiple people.
Right, if it's one person, then
I think we risk it.
So you start to kind of pull the door with the help of the Tristans are opening the door right now, and peeking in. Oh shit! I should have had my notes ready for this guy too, but I am dumb. Peeking in, you do see the elf that runs the shop, kind of pacing back and forth throughout the store, almost walking in circles, just checking all of the shelves and just constantly moving.
I'm gonna go. Psst, psst, psst.
And you see Ao
Heyo!
looking around hurriedly and kind of stares at the bookshelf and in a look of absolute alarm goes, "Oh my god! Are you guys here to kill me? Please don't! I haven't done anything."
No, just close the shop and come back here. It's okay. We're friends.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
do I know or recognize this person? And
Come here, little boy.
14.
would I be helpful in
14.
communicating that we are friendly?
You recognize him a little bit as being another person that Lord Locken trusts, and upon kind of peeking around the corner with a 14, yeah, I'm still rolling under 10. Ao kind of looks over at you, Tristan, and then looks over at other Tristan. He's like, "Tristan, I wasn't expecting to see you here. I thought you were dead. Everyone seems to be dead. I don't know what to do. No one comes into the store anymore. There's no one on the streets. I don't know what to do." Oh, and he kind of starts like rushing towards the bookshelf door.
Yep.
And he's like, every day that there's movement outside, I think someone's going to come in and kill me because things keep dying, and I don't know if you noticed, but did you notice the big waves of energy? And then magic disappeared, and I don't know what to do because I use magic every once in a while for just cleaning up and maintaining the shop, but now I can't, and I don't know what to do. And I'm just starting to panic. Everyone I know is dead. I don't know what to do. Please, can you help me? I don't.
Breathe. We're trying to figure it out. How long ago did this happen?
Well,
When did the fighting begin?
Did he come like in?
Yeah, he came towards the door, and during his long ranting and freaking out, started just walked straight past you down the stairs and continued talking.
Can I walk into the shop? And is there like an open close sign? And if there is, can I turn it to closed?
Yeah, that's easy enough. You walk up to the front door and flip the sign to closed, and there is a big block of wood that you can put into the door to essentially bar the door as well.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Can I see anything outside?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh, what are these rolls? 5.
5. Oh man. Okay. We're gonna roll to determine what you see. Okay. So, looking out the window, you don't see a whole lot of activity. There is more activity in the main square of the city, since there's just it's a little more densely populated in this area, but you don't see a lot of people. And the window's a little dusty. It seems that without magic, maybe Ale wasn't cleaning up as well as he should have been. And then you guys had asked how long it had been. Well, it was about the same day that the magic all disappeared. It was that evening that the city was full of Adarlanian soldiers, and they kept saying that it was because that Cal was trying to betray the king of Adarlan, and that Terrasen was that Peranth was trying to secede from Terrasen to attack Adarlan, and I don't know. I've never heard anything like that. I've known Cal for years, and I've never heard him say anything bad about Adarlan. Well, I've heard him say a lot of bad things about Adarlan, actually, but never something that would lead me to believe that he'd try to assassinate the king. And of course, they came in with a huge amount of people, and they carted in this tall obelisk thing, and they put it in front of my shop, and I don't know what it does, and I don't know why it's there, but
I'm gonna put my hand across his mouth.
Is the obelisk still there?
Through one swing's mouth, he starts to nod his head.
And do I still look like Cal?
Oh, god damn it!
Wow.
I need this RP. Make it happen.
Okay. So while he's freaking out, he's kind of just like he's so in his head that he spouting out all these things, and then this massive Goliath hand comes and covers his mouth, and he kind of like freaks out a little bit and looks around the room and looks at everyone and looks over towards Krakus, and you just see his eyes go wide. I was like, through the hand.
Krakus will just put a finger to his lips, like shh.
He just goes immediately silent.
I'll gesture at Tristan, like
It's not really him.
Tristan B.
I'm saying that anyways.
Damn.
He looks over at Tristan H and is like, what? Like, kind of looks at him inquisitively, like, well, obviously it's him. Look at him. That's him.
Did any other survivors from the palace come through yet?
I'll lift my hand away from his mouth.
Oh my god, I can't believe Lord Locking, you're still alive. I thought you were
Hand
dead too.
over his mouth.
I need you to focus on my questions. Alright? This is Lord Locken's safety. Depends on it. So focus. Did any other survivors from the palace come through here?
Hand away from his mouth.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen anyone since the day after. Marion and Elide came through here because they said that Magda's tavern was compromised and that they shouldn't go there, and they might not know about my shop. Something about, I don't seem like the kind of person who would really know Cal or Marion or Elide or Vernon or any of the family, and I don't know why they would think that. I've been here so long.
Focus.
Right. Anyways, Elide and Marion came in here along with Cassian and Nesta and their daughter. They came in as well. They were all wearing. It looked like Aderlanian colors that they were wearing, so that they could sneak out of the town from here through the shop, and they did take. They took one thing from here, and that was. And he gestures at Tristan's amulet hanging from his neck. It's like, they took the amulet that looks like yours, Tristan, except, bigger and, well, bigger. And they took it with them when they left. And the amulet that you guys see Tristan wearing around his neck, I'll post it in Erilea chat right now. Looks like this.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
I hate you.
It's almost there. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I'll
That
win
is,
D&D
that is a
eventually.
staggering amulet.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I get your point.
Okay. Krakus, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Krakus?
22.
22? Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Do you know if they made it out of the city?
Say that again?
Do you know if they made it out of the city?
Well, I don't know for sure, because I was told I should not escort them, because with magic being gone, there's not much I could do to help them. And then, in addition to that, I don't know what's really outside the city. You know that. I've been in the city my whole life. I'm a scared.
I know, and you've done a wonderful job. So, the front door is where you lost sight of them.
I try to persuade him, with my gestures.
Eyes. It's all in the eyes.
Eyes and hands, calm the fuck down, dude.
Roll a persuasion check.
Roll an Italian check.
An Italian check.
Yeah, I mean, not wrong.
I'll give
That
you
is
advantage since you're currently looking
Oh.
like.
All right, well, let me roll. Okay. Well, the first one was an 18. The second one was a 4. So I'll take the dirty 20.
Okay. You kind of see Ao kind of look over at Lord Locken, and he's like, "I'm sorry, my lord. I'm very nervous, and I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the current state of your daughter and wife."
You've done well. You've done very well.
You see,
And I'll nod.
you see
So
him
you
kind
said-
of let out a sigh of relief.
So you said the obelisk is outside your shop.
Well, it's in the city square, which my shop is in. So yeah, I guess kind of right outside my shop.
Have you seen any other obelisks around the town?
No, I haven't left. I haven't left my home since.
Has anyone that's come in, if anyone's come in, mentioned another obelisk or similar structure?
Well, only a few Aderlanian soldiers have come in and out since the attack, and I've been trying to kind of lay low and not have them bother me.
Of course.
I haven't heard them mention anything of another obelisk. No.
All right. And then turn to the others. Destroying the obelisk now only returns the magic immediately. If there are no mages or soldiers left, it just gives away our position. But I think it's good we know where it is. And we can return with allies, people to help. And destroying the obelisk will be the first step to retaking the city.
Do you know of any other place we can go for allies still in the city? Talking to Ao.
Well, most of the allies of Lord Locken over there, they were. A lot of them were killed. They had a couple of hangings in the square as well, and I'm sorry, Lord Locken. I could have sworn that I saw you out there during one of these public hangings. So I'm incredibly happy that you're still alive.
Shh. You can't mention that to any of the. You can't mention that to anyone that isn't loyal to Grant.
Yeah, it was probably a body double or something that they used.
What are we doing to this poor person?
Giving
Roll.
him hope.
Roll a
No,
deception.
why?
Roll a deception check, Tristan. I'll give you advantage since Leaf
Alright.
also stepped in to help out.
Which Tristan? That
Tristan B.
Me, Tristan.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
Avier is actively not participating because this is insane.
I'm
Yes.
just staring.
Oh, I didn't. I need to actually look at freaking roll 20 because I hear the rolls happening in roll 20.
Modified 16.
16.
I should have been the one to do it.
Okay. So he kind of he looks closely at you, Krakus. And back to you, Tristan. It's like I understand that symbols of leadership have power, and I won't say anything.
Good.
Because I know that the hope made me feel better, but and looking right at Krakus, I know that's
He has
not...
to roll an investigation check.
Okay.
No, because the roll was high enough. This is comfort.
Natural 20.
Uh-oh.
And he totally knows it's fake. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, Ben, you
Yeah.
rolled over a 10.
I did.
Congrats.
I did.
So,
I actually rolled that at advantage because of the deception that was happening, and I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20. So,
Duality.
yeah, exactly. So,
can I use luck?
no, you cannot. Those are for your rolls only, buddy.
We
And the
appreciate
tap rolls against you. If I remember correctly.
But I do know that is not Lord Locken. But if people see that he might still be alive, it might give them hope, and it might instill some fear in those that are still here.
You make a good point.
So, kid, do you know where we can get explosives?
He looks up at you with like an absolute shocked look on his face. It's like, well, no.
Shit.
As we've mentioned, a lot of people in Terracin, they're magic wielders, so it's not like we really use anything that would be explosive other than the magic itself. And without magic being around, we don't have anything as a backup. Maybe we should have had a backup. That might have been a little smarter to have and be prepared for all of this happening and going on.
Okay.
Enough.
Right.
So, I'm gonna look at them, and ask them, what do you want to do?
I want to go push over that obelisk.
That's probably not the greatest idea. I like the general direction that you want to go with it. but like maybe we can either all leave to regroup and figure out a strategy, or maybe we can have some people gathering intel about how many soldiers are left here.
Kid,
Yes.
that you can like walk around this. Oh God, no! You're not a.
Trust him.
Never mind.
Real quick, do I know of any national allies that might be worth talking to or trying to?
Within Terracin itself or other nations?
Let me think geographically. Closest, then furthest.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a history check again. I'll give you advantage since you're with Lord Locken a lot.
Would
Thank you. That's 15.
15? You let me think of how to answer this. As far as allies go, you know that the biggest cities in Terracin itself would be obviously ones that are very loyal to King Orlan.
Didn't know if there were like noble houses or
Yes,
if
so
it tractors or even if it is another nation. I'm just trying to think if we go find this heir of fire, like we can't turn around and bring her right back.
Right.
Because like we need help.
Right. So you do know there are there's the capital city of Orinth, which is home of King Orlan and the royal family and court. You know that there are three other major cities. Three other major cities in Terracin that you might be able to speak with the lords of. One being Rosamel, which is where Lady Marion is from. Alsbrook, which is the closest city to Orinth itself, and Surya by the sea. That might be able to gain you some allies either across the sea in Surya itself, if Paranth is the only place that's been attacked.
The sea, you say?
Uh-huh.
I like the sea.
We should probably work on finding them first. Why don't we if there's nobody else in the city that we can talk to.
There's the one final safe house we can check to see if they learned of any information.
You would recognize that the names Cassian and Nesta are the Taylor and Claudier that the other passage would go into, just as an FYI.
Right.
Right.
So there's one more stop we can make before exiting the city. I don't know what benefit we will gain from it.
Wait, but they said that they left though, right?
Right.
Oh! I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I
Okay.
misunderstood.
There's nobody there.
Correct.
All right. Well then,
Well, if it's empty, then when we regroup, we could always use that as like a forward base to do some scouting work out of, because we have the tunnel system that we could go through.
Oh,
get
one
across.
other town that you do know of, before I forget, is Ilium, which is right on the sea itself, at the border of Aderlan and Terracin. Leaf, can you roll me a history check?
Yeah, of course. It's 15.
15. You do know that Terracin has previously found allies in two other groups outside of Terracin itself. One of which being the Lost Mycenaeans, a seafaring group of people that current legends have it moved to the islands of Skulls Bay. The other group that they allied themselves with would be the Kroken Witch clan, a much more peaceful clan than a lot of the Iron Teeth clans. That most of the Iron Teeth witches have hunted to near extinction.
Cool. I was like midway writing potential allies, and then you said near extinction.
I mean, near extinction, right?
Is information not what I was hoping for, but is information. I am going to share this information with the group.
Q.
Well, I'm not sure who would be particularly helpful. Ilium was very close to the border of Aderlan, and again, I don't know if just Paranth has been attacked or if other cities have been attacked, but if Paranth was attacked, we're significantly farther from the border than Ilium is, so I would assume that Ilium would have been attacked as well, but I'm not sure, because, again, they were saying that Cal was a traitor and was attempting to assassinate the king. So it's possible that they only attacked here, but I am concerned that they might have gone through the eastern coast of Terracin as well.
Okay. Well,
Let's go.
either way, yeah, we should probably still check the one location that we know we have before we decide anything else. There's nothing left for us in the city.
I need to check in with the Thieves Guild, because if this was an assassination, then at least they might know something.
Can we get there through this tunnel?
Well, their base is along the Avery River, so we can go there after we leave town.
Oh, cool.
The Assassin's Keep is just west of about 10 miles, 20 miles outside of Rifthold, along the Avery.
Which is back the way we came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, we can't.
I mean, you guys
to
could certainly
the-
try to do whatever you would like to do.
So to the summer home?
Yeah, that seems like the best option. I could probably send word from there and then get an answer. I don't think I'd have to go there myself.
Okay. Who would you send word through?
I can help. I want to help. I can do something. And he
How do you propose to be of use, young one?
You need a message sent?
I do.
I'm very fast. And I don't have to sleep much. As long as you can show me where it is. I want to do this for Lord Locken and his family, and And for Terracin, I need to do something. This is my home. This is the only place I've ever known. And if I lose my home, then I don't know where I would live. And if I can't live in my home, then is life even worth living right now? And I've always wanted to go adventuring anyway.
Avir's
So
gonna say, "I will pay you 5 gold if you leave right now."
Well, he can't leave right now. I need to write the letter.
go ahead and make an intimidation check, Avir.
Okay.
Whatever. I'm sure whatever.
That's a 6.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1. So
Intimidated, bitch.
yeah. You guys don't seem to be particularly frightened by Avir, as you've seen her act a lot scarier than this, and but somehow the young elf in front of her, almost wets himself in fear, and just kind of presses his lips tight together.
I'm going to start composing the letter in full thieves' cant.
Okay. You can either share with the group, or you can send it to me in a message, and I can make sure that it gets to the appropriate person.
It was just going to be asking for information that they may or may not have on if this was an assassination attempt, what happened here, if they know anything about where anybody is, and I'm also going to send him with one of my daggers to prove like legitimacy.
Okay.
So it's not just like a random person finding the assassin's keep, and they don't kill him immediately. I'm also going to whisper in his ear something.
Okay. So you guys see Leaf composing his letter. Does anyone? Can anyone read Thieves' Cant other than Leaf?
No.
No.
Okay. Looks like a bunch of gibberish. It is not.
It's wingdings.
It is essentially he is essentially writing in wingdings, just a bunch of weird symbols and pictures, and then you see him kind of lean forward and whisper into Ao's ear.
You tell them I sent you.
And
I look at him. I look him in the eyes, and
he kind of looks back and looks you up and down and says, "Of course."
Don't go now. Wait until the cover of nightfall.
Well, I mean, it's gonna take him like a day or two, right?
To travel down towards Rifthold?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to take him a few days.
Just don't want the owner of the general store to be seen leaving during the day. And if there's still patrols outside, that might be questionable. They might try to ask him what he has on him.
Of course. I'll leave in the middle of the night, and I'll go through the tunnels. I do know my way out towards the Stag's Head. Do you guys have word on Magda? Is she okay?
She's dead.
Tristan's gonna start whistling and walking away.
Aver said she's dead, and Aver's gone. Aver walked it back into the tunnel.
Okay. So Avir just shouts, "She's dead!" and bolts down the ladder. Kind of does like the fireman slide down the ladder, and is just followed by Tristan, who's just whistling happily and
Happily.
just like do 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 do. You guys, those who remained in the room, start to see tears well in his eyes, and he's like,
you're gonna-
"Those bastards." After
I
my
really
family
tried to
died,
give
she...
him a hug.
And
I'm
he's...
gonna put my hand on his shoulder and I'm gonna say, if you're gonna go to the Stag's Head Inn and leave through there, don't investigate too closely. Just leave.
you can kind of just see the rage building in his eyes, and kind of a further look of just determination.
One
like-
swing is also tearing up.
And he kind of looks over at you and is like, she was a crazy lady, but she was a good woman.
They destroyed all the ale.
Can I flick one thing in the head? Just right in the forehead, right between the eyebrows.
Can you reach?
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check. I got that.
And I just give him a big glare.
You look down at Eve and just see like this really angry, like, young girl staring at you.
21.
Yeah, I would say you're able to kind of like jump up and flick the back of his ear. And
Hey guys, we probably should get going. Down from the tunnel.
Yep.
Do I think that I would be most helpful leading them to that summer home, or staying in the city and trying to organize some form of underground or resistance or something like that?
Do you know where this summer home is?
You would know where the summer home is. You could pretty easily mark it on a map for them. Essentially this would be your character choice. You're essentially, you know, in Telltale games where it says go this way or this way. It's one of those moments. Except there are 3 paths ahead of you. You could definitely try to raise a rebellion in Paranth, not knowing much about what's going on. It's a potential option for you. You could accompany Ao to the Assassin's Keep in Aderlin, or you could potentially travel with or meet the group at a later date. And at that crossroads, we're going to end for the night.
I hate you.
Don't worry, Krakus. We'll go to the sea.
Whew. Whew.
Yeah. It's
Not
too bad
playing
nobody.
the owl.
What's that? What was that, Monkey?
You're not the owl, sir.
Oh.
It's too bad nobody in the group's been to a sea city.
Yeah,
Seaport.
so we can't tell Crux
Yep.
about the lobsters. Well, as far as
Because
you
nobody's
know,
been there.
as far as you know,
As far as you all know, no one in the
All
group.
about your observations.
but
Yeah. As far as anybody knows, no one's been to a seaport.
who would just tell him about lobsters? Realistically.
I feel like there was one person in the group who might have just randomly started spouting off about crazy clawed sea roaches, and that person's no longer in the group. Or traveling with the group.
True.
Gone but not forgotten.
That was a session, guys. Good
Yeah,
job.
was.
Way to blindside us with information, dude.
Blindside you with information. I feel
I'm
like
traumatized. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
real quick
said-
before we talk more, I just want to give a thanks to Cody from Random Encounter Productions for coming by for 2 sessions and helping make sure that the group goes in the right direction.
It was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun to hang out
Huh.
guys. So thank
Aw.
you very much for having me. It was really awesome.
You are welcome at any time.
Yeah,
Nice.
if left to our own devices, we would probably still be in that witch's house.
Really?
Yeah, and you might have found the fucking notebook at the witch's house instead of me having to send a bunch of witches to come murder you.